Good morning, everybody, and this is your Dow Jones day trade setups for today. So we're really starting to look interesting. Nice little inside bar that formed yesterday, and the oscillators grouping to the downside. The only concern I have is that we don't have we're not bouncing off a decent level, but we are bouncing off a gap, and that is a Brooks gap in my eyes. If you just search my channel for gaps, you'll see the video on that. Really just explains what I see and what I look at as a gap. That there is definitely a gap, and the theory is quite simple. In this 8-hour period, we bounced around, we formed a hammer, and then we broke through because that was a top for some reason. We didn't get through there, and we broke through it, and we never came back to test it. So 9 times out of 10, well, not so much, probably 6 times out of 10, we come back to test. So often if you look for a structure, I'm just trying to find one, you can see the tails, typically price comes back and meets the tail and comes back down. It doesn't run around. You can see there, broke up, came back, look at these tails, I came back to test that break there. So that to me is just the structure that we have there. So often you see that there's another one there. You can see there's the tail, we broke away from it, came back and found support on it. So often it lines up with another level as well, but anyway. So that is pretty much closed. There's nothing else below it. So there's a fairly decent probability of a little base forming there. Now at the moment, if you look at the 3-hour, not much going on yesterday. Oscillators have crossed over and are pointing up. I'd like to see the second oscillator come up as well. And typically in this scenario, the only time I'm going to start getting bullish here is a break and retest of a level, and the first level is 34,813. So I'd want to see us get above that, test it, and then move up. At the moment, we are pretty much going nowhere. Tails to the upside, tails to the downside, barbed wire, confusion, big up, big down, whichever way you want to look at it. Price action is sideways, no real structure. The only truth right now is that moving average is pointing down, and we are looking for, we should be looking to continue with the downtrend. At the moment, oscillators are grouping to the upside on the hour, but bear in mind that on the higher time frames, we are getting into oversold territory. So this is still something to be watching. As I said yesterday, you can see we did reject these areas up here, but then basically, bounced off the bottom, came back. So difficult to trade in those conditions. Even if you are on the 15-minute, you're going to find that kind of structure is difficult. I suppose the short was on offer here, but as soon as you start forming little flags and things like that, you need to get out of it. Wait for the next pullback. There's another pin bar off a level, another opportunity, and not really. I mean, you need to take profit at the micro level. So wherever you see a little bit of structure, take profit rather. And if you do break through that and come back and test it, then jump back in on the move. But at the moment, that's kind of the view that I have at the moment. The trend was down yesterday, so you were favoring shorts, as I said, but that's due to the moving averages. At the moment, moving averages have come together. Oscillators group to the upside, so I expect another move down. Or alternatively, you just go sideways while the oscillators ease off. And nothing really for me on this chart. So 34,300 to the downside, you want to see break of that area, or alternatively you're looking for 34,813, a break of that to the upside for a move back up into this 35,436 area. To be honest, I think you're more than likely going to be continuing in this sideways price action, and investors are now focused on Russia, Ukraine. So we'll have to wait and see what transpires there. Hopefully sanity prevails, but at the moment, the egos are at play, and politician egos are very dangerous. So at the moment, I'm definitely just sitting quietly here, not really keen on this. I think there's more opportunity on Forex. There was some nice trades on Forex yesterday, especially Euro USD. There was a nice little scalp to the downside there, and I think there's some more on offer today. And that's kind of where my focus is currently, but we still got the DAX and the S&P to look at, so we'll have a look at those two now. But at the moment, I'm not really keen until we start breaking one of these levels. We start breaking this level to the upside, want the retest, get the retest, take the long stop as close to possible as this to the structure, and you're targeting this area up here, and vice versa to the downside. So you look at my levels I've given you, we're kind of in the middle here of two juicy targets, one to the upside, one to the downside. So we just need to break through it before we start looking at it. Anyway, so that's kind of my view at the moment, sitting quietly again and just waiting to see what happens. Hope that helps, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.